Hello and welcome, everybody. I'm Amanda Mapp from BES IT Systems. I've got some of my colleagues here with me as well, Alex, Matt, John, and Zena from the marketing team. And we're really excited to jump on for a rapid fire update with our best mate, Francesco Garbellini from Jamf. Francesco's a senior education account executive at ANZ for Jamf. And you've been with Jamf for a long time now, Francesco, haven't you? How long?
Yeah, about three and a half years now. So yeah.
Yes, and it's so wonderful. We've had a great time working together over the last couple of years through a crazy few years, and we had the opportunity to catch up recently, and we're excited to hear about all of the acquisitions and the expansions that Jamf have been doing, and all of the offerings that you are bringing to market now outside of what we were talking about 3 years ago. So yeah, thank you so much for offering your time today, Francesca, to talk to some of our schools, a lot of schools, some enterprise as well. A lot of the people joining us today are already utilizing Jamf Pro or Jamf School, utilizing MDM capacity. I just dropped out for a second there. But we're excited to hear about the rest of the stack. So I'm going to pass over to you, Francesco, and then you'll be able to share your screen and tell us all about what Jamf is doing in 2022.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you so much, Amanda. Let me just organize my screen and just let me know if you guys can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Awesome. Fantastic. All right. I'll get that started then. So thank you so much for having me today. So as Amanda already introduced me, I'm not going to have to repeat myself. I'm here at Jamf leading the education team here at Jamf ANZ. And today I just want to kind of present you a little bit of the stack and what we're offering and our plans for 2022 in education specific. Feel free to put any questions, obviously, to Amanda and myself. In the end, we're going to have a few minutes just to respond to any question. And then if you have anything that has not been responded today, of course, you can always email me, and I'm gonna put my emails in the chat. All right. So just talking a bit about Jamf for you, for the one of you that don't know us really well, but our mission has always been to help organizations succeed with Apple, and we had that focus for about 20 years now. So really, our focus on Apple, it's been kind of a choice, and we continue doing that. And in education, considering the popularity of Apple and Jamf in the education markets around the world, and the percentage of devices that are shared among students, we estimated that today we empower about 36 million students via one-to-one and shared Apple devices across more than 32,000 schools around the globe, including 45 of the 46 top universities in Australia and New Zealand. The number 46 of that university is using Windows, and I'm trying to convert them to Apple for a while. And 66 of the 70 Apple distinguished schools in ANZ. So as you can hear, the market of Apple is something that we really focus on, and we want to empower the students to succeed with Apple. And that's really our focus in education. It's remained the same for a long time, and it's the student success for us is about get each learner to the desired goal or outcome by creating a safe, nurturing, and optimal learning environment through technology. So what does this ecosystem look like? As you can imagine, we cannot empower student success without involving the larger ecosystem, supporting them starting with the talented IT professional like some of you here today, but also others that you see on this slide, such as educational leaders, like directors of learning, educators and teachers, parent carers, and our partners like BES. Only by engaging and serving this larger ecosystem, we can create the tools and system that truly empower student success. So in terms of empowering educational system, we actually focusing on three main strategic pillars. The first one is focus on optimizing the Apple Enterprise Management Platform that we're going to talk about today for the needs of educational institutions. This means focusing on elements of our AEM platform that make it easier for all our education customers to engage with us, driving new innovations and bolstering the overall performance of the platform. We also want to supercharge education workflows by enhancing our education app and also providing additional training to be able to truly leverage these powerful apps focused on learning with technology. And lastly, we intend to partner closely with other innovative organizations, products and partners like BES that serves the education vertical to deliver a complete Apple experience. So with that, let me walk you through some of these exciting updates. One of our biggest focuses this year is to keeping systems secure and online to ensure students can learn. This is why we are launching a new Jamf product called Jamf Safe Internet, which will be coming later this year. And we are super excited to share some of this functionality with you. So leveraging our Jamf data policy and features from Jamf Threat Defense functionality, schools can now enjoy a complete purpose-built content filtering solution that ensures the right security measures are in place, all without sacrificing the Apple experience. This means schools can enforce acceptable usage policies through Jamf Safe Internet and configure and deploy directly to devices. These coming soon security policies combine best-in-class threat defense and content filtering features that block inappropriate content and malicious attacks. So students can learn safely anyway. And Jamf Safe Internet is intended for delivery later this year and will support not only a full range of languages, but a full range of devices, like we do with all our products, including iPad, iPhone, Mac, and for the first time, Android and Windows. And to tell you more about the whole product experience, I'm just gonna move on just to show you the stack of what we are offering. So this is the education stack we've got here at Jamf with all our products. Some of you might be very familiar with Jamf School and Jamf Pro, which, you know, they are our two MDMs focused on managing Apple devices, and we will cover the differences shortly for the one of you that don't know those. We then have Connect and Protect for identity management and protect user on their devices. And then we have the new layer of Safe Internet coming in soon later this year. We will really dive into what we can offer to you as education customer is the value-added workflow apps. So all those apps, the Jamf Teacher, Student, Parent, and Jamf Assessment apps are all free. And the Jamf Teacher and the Parent and Assessment app are available on both the Jamf Pro and Jamf School, and the Jamf Student app is available only on Jamf School. One other things that I'm really excited about is the Jamf Marketplace. This is where we can connect with some of our partners to really drive value and add that education experience taken further with Apple. We have some great solution in there from Microsoft to Google to have a strong integration of every apps and services you're using in your schools that you can deploy in your own devices and have that integration really working well to benefit and empower your students, staff, and teachers in general. And in the end, at the bottom of this slide, you can see the great community aspect, which are Jamf Educator and Jamf Nation. Those are great cases where people come together to learn and share ideas. This builds that whole product experience is not about the technology alone, but how the entire portfolio empower the student success and help you as IT admin to deliver that without compromises. So just briefly about Jamf Pro. It's our standard for Apple management, and it has been for a long time. It's got a very deep Mac management with a lot of customization and integration with third-party tools as well. We do use the MDM framework that Apple offer, but plus we do have a binary file, a binary agent that actually install on the machines, especially on the Macs, where it actually gives you those extra functionality. We can do user-level configuration. We have a lot of integration, as I spoken about. And we do support the education apps that you've seen just a few minutes ago. For Jamf School, it's very education focused. It's very simple to set up to the point that even a teacher can manage that. They don't have technical experience. It's got a very easy iOS configuration, a full support to the MDM framework from Apple. It's got an easy macOS management without those extra integration, but still very good for a lot of schools that want to push application, policies, etc. And of course, we support the education apps on Jamf School because that's where actually those apps were created first. Moving on Connect. So Connect, it's a product that's trying to solve 3 challenges. Is kind of the only solution to streamline provisioning, authentication, and identity management by giving the end user, so your student, your staff, and your teacher, the power to leverage a single identity on any Apple device to gain immediate access to resources that can be apps, documents, etc. They need to be productive. Jamf Connect is actually not a single sign-on product, but rather gives your IT teams the ability to provide secure access to resources to your staff, teacher, and student needs, and for them to have one set of credentials to unlock everything they require on their machines. That can be obviously, in macOS with some web apps or some packages apps or some App Store apps. Moving on to Jamf Protect. So Jamf Protect has been on the cornerstone to helping schools and universities secure Macs. It focuses on 3 big areas, starting with the antivirus part. Is built on top of native macOS frameworks and optimized for being non-intrusive to end user. We routinely hear from our customer that end users stop complaining about the security tools and just become productive, which is very important, obviously, when you're trying to use a machine that you want to be productive on. One of the big wins of our approach is that our CPU utilization is minimal and does not generally interfere with common application or file activity. As a result, most end users never notice Jamf Protect until something bad happens. For example, if you ever wanted to tell the end user, your student or your teacher, that just allowed a piece of hardware or malware to install, that they should really go read the school secure internet usage guidelines again, well, you can do that or send them back to that training course. Yeah, you have everyone taking annually on safe data handling. With Jamf Protect, you can do that. And you can customize what happens when an alert is triggered to Jamf Protect. Of course, you can also leave it completely silent, and that's completely up to you. One more big value of building for Macs, and only for Macs, is that we pride ourselves in supporting the latest macOS version on the day of its release. So especially students love to run the latest software that Apple releases, and Jamf will support it immediately. That's our commitment to you on all our products. So you don't have to push out messaging that people need to hold off of updating to Monterey for the next 3 months. We will support on the first day that product get released. Moving on, the Jamf Teacher app. So using Jamf as school IT administrator can enable several powerful apps, as we've spoken before. The Jamf Teacher apps gives teachers the tools to manage their class and keep students focused on their education. With the Jamf School Teacher app, you can instantly restrict website, apps, the camera, and much more. Or you can even lock all student devices at once with a custom message. Here you can see some of the functionalities. This functionality can change as well based on if you're using Jamf Pro or Jamf School. Moving to the Jamf Student app. This is in Jamf School only and gives students managed control of their own devices by empowering them with setup, control, install, and messaging capabilities. So they get what they need from teachers when they need it. With the Jamf School Student app, students can manage their own iPad devices. They can install apps approved by the school and use documents stored in their personal cloud drive, so they are prepared for their learning. This works really well if your school have manageable IDs, so we can talk about that later. One of our most commonly used apps across the globe, and here in Australia, very strong, even in Queensland, is the Jamf Parent app. So with the teacher cover, we need to think about student learning at home, and that's where Jamf have you cover with the awesome Jamf Parent app. So the Jamf Parent app provides management control for parents, giving them the ability to limit apps and device functionality on your on the child's school issue device. And of course, there are so many options there when the device goes home, and there are some also issues that you can solve thanks to this app. We talked about the marketplace and the integration that we've been doing. So the marketplace, it provides that incremental value to you as a customer because it offers some extra tools that you might use in your school. I'll give you some example. So these 2 apps that you might be familiar with are some of the most used apps in Australia and New Zealand. Shobi, the first one, is an app that provides teachers the ability to assign, collect, and review student work. It can deliver personalized feedback to every learner and add student work to digital portfolio that can be securely shared with parents. So these apps and explain everything, a whiteboard for education, where students collaborate and work together on an interactive whiteboard in real time to create a demonstration or a presentation, are two apps that we support natively now on both Jamf Pro and Jamf School with some workflows. So you can actually pre-configure this application on a profile on both Jamf School and Jamf Pro. And we're going to continue to extend these functionalities with other apps. So your feedback is very important. We want to hear from you. If there are any apps at the moment that you're using in your schools, they are commonly used by many schools that you like to be managed and you like some customization, etc. We have a marketplace team that work very closely with the developer teams of these apps and help integrating some of these functionalities into our product. So please let me know. Feel free to write in the chat if there are any of those apps that you're using, and we can cover those later. Just something that we covered before is our community. We are nothing without you as you and all our customers, and that's proven with the Jamf Nation community. So this is an online forum, and it's the home to over 100,000 Apple IT focused individuals that learn from each other, discuss best practices, and have access to the wealth of resources and third-party tools. You don't have to have Jamf to be part of this forum, and it's very useful for everything Apple, not only Jamf. So you can create a free account today and to join that discussion. Feel free to do that anytime. And in order to support the use of the apps that you've seen before, in the specific, the Jamf Teacher app, we've introduced a free online professional development platform to walk teachers through the use in the classroom. We call it Jamf Educator. And Jamf Educator offers two tracks, one for educators and one for education technologists or IT managers. The Educator track is focused on 4 stops: education and Jamf, classroom management and Jamf, and differentiation and Jamf with student interaction. Educator can learn, try, and apply in a simulation-based platform and earn a badge at the end of the course that they can actually show in their profile on Jamf Nation or LinkedIn or wherever they want to share that in the community of teachers. Once complete, they become a Jamf Educator and will have that skill and knowledge to apply to use of the Jamf Teacher app in the classroom. The EdTech tracks build on the same 4 stops, but with ideas and resources in how to roll out the Jamf Teacher app across the school to support the wider education community. Again, you don't have to have Jamf to become a Jamf Educator. You can go to educator.jamf.com and you can check out the entire process and get your badge. And now I'm just gonna open up for Q&A. I know that I covered a lot. There's a lot to take in this presentation, but it's just a quick update just to give you some information about what we're focusing this year, how we can help you to succeed with Apple, and of course help your schools to get the next level in terms of the learning experience with technology.